Hi there, welcome back to yet another journal. It's been a month, so I thought let me go online and journal something and record something for my own reference in the future. It's 30th of May 2021. I think it's been a month, or probably to be more precise, 30 days since I last journaled something. It was on the 1st of May on a Saturday when I last recorded an update on this particular channel. A lot of things have changed as usual, some drastically, some not so drastically over the last 30 days. And probably, I think I'll stick to this format of coming back at the end of the month or the beginning of the month to see how the month was. So, next time I would meet, it would probably be June. But let's not discuss about what's next, but rather look at how things went over the last 30 days. First thing first, I had decided and I had told it in the first May journal that I would be staying away from all the social media for this month. And when I say social media, I mean Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp, and everything. I just removed all of those. Kind of retained Signal because that's the only means of communication for video calls and voice call with my sister. uh, it's been fantastic. Let me be very honest, it's been a fantastic experience. You won't believe the amount of time you get on hand without any social media on your phone. And there are two advantages, to be more precise. One thing is that you get a lot of time. Second thing is that you'll start to realize that your phone battery is not as bad as what you think. So the less the time you use your phone, the phone battery looks much capable of lasting for another 6 months or a year. And having said that, one of the key advantages of being away from social media is that you are away from all the nonsense that is going on, be it the fake news stuff, be it the misery thing, and all the stuff. It's not that I don't want to be away from the misery or we can avoid anything like that, but when people senselessly try to push messages into Twitter, WhatsApp, and all those things, that kind of looks, I don't know what to call it. So that's one thing which I wanted to stay away. There are instances wherein I realized that few people had left me a message on WhatsApp, and I had not responded for obvious reason because I don't have WhatsApp on my phone. And this eventually meant that they called me up after a few days, only to realize I was not there on WhatsApp. But yeah, if it was really required, I'm pretty sure the people will reach out to me on phone because that's what I prefer now, if not for SMS. And if it's a casual message, I know people will drop a message to say, "Hi, how are you?" And if I don't respond, they'll keep quiet. And if they're really serious, if they want some work to be done or whatever, they will make sure that they'll call me. One another reason why I wanted to stay away from social media is because I wanted to buy myself time to work on something that I've been talking about uh, for a year now, for one full year. And if I go back in time to the kind of daily journals that I was recording during the phase one of this pandemic, I used to talk about patents and protection of an idea and all that stuff. Let me be very open now because I've kind of started running, if not at least brisk walking, if not for at least like uh, running into this whole journey. The whole idea, what I've been thinking about doing is to build this thing called a community or a platform for travelers and explorers. I initially thought about it as an app which can be done, but over a period of time I just realized I should not be calling it an app because I don't want people to sideline it telling just one more app, but I want people to be here as a community and start using it, start contributing in it, and start making the best use of it. I want it to be self-sustaining rather than me asking people to contribute something to it and all those stuff. So I made a good progress. I mean, I say good, I made a very good progress on it. uh, I've been documenting that part of the journey separately on a YouTube channel as a vlog. I think already I've shot about 6 episodes and I've scheduled all of them. one episode is already published as of last Monday, that is 24th of May. I've scheduled it for one every Monday, wherein I talk about different aspects like how this idea came in, what I have done, what is the use cases that I'm trying to solve, what is the options that I explored to build this platform, and what is it that I'm doing now, and all the stuff. So probably by the end of the sixth um, video, which goes live somewhere in the second half of this month, I would probably have some more wherein I explain how to use the app and all those stuff. So I plan to use that specific separate YouTube channel only for talking about my journey in building this platform. It might work, it might not work. There are so many factors. One is the whole pandemic thing. People are not able to go out and travel and all those stuff. That itself could mean that it could have a very slow start. But having said that, people's mentality also matters. So my idea is to see it for one full year. Okay. Again, the intent is to launch it by around the first week of July, and then wait to see how things shape up, at least for the 1 year. And if there is even a slightest amount of progress, then probably extend it for another 2 to 3 years. That is what is in my mind. But I don't want it to die down like few of the other websites or ideas or concept that I have built in the past. Be it the question time, which I didn't update it past 4 or 5 questions, or be it Help Corona, which I just spent like the first 1 to 2 weeks in full josh, and after that I stopped. Yeah, I stopped because I'm not on social media, I don't get information. But I don't want it to die like that. Learn and create, which again, I hardly created any more tutorials on that, or be it the other YouTube channels, especially the Creative Zest, wherein I don't know when was the last time I even posted something on it, which is more sensible. So I want it to survive. I want to make sure that it grows up big space. I don't want it to become viral and the best thing to be on and all the stuff. But let's see what's the best outcome out of it in 2022 by around this time. That is around June, July, when it would be like around 1 year old. I mean, it's 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and definitely 1 year is too short a time to evaluate how people would react. And again, the situation is also not that great. But the thing is, yeah, good progress has been made. And as I mentioned, July is when I plan to do a beta launch, wherein I'll be approaching few creators and see if they can help come on platform and start posting things on it. On a personal note, on the house side, vaccination stuff has been driving us crazy, and like since last 1 week I just stopped thinking about vaccination, because a lot of things have changed regarding vaccination. First thing first, somehow like spent like a week literally daily doing a walk-in into the clinic, or rather the government clinic near my house, to get a first dose of vaccine for my aunt. Eventually it was successful, but during the time I realized that government has made an order wherein they increase the wait time for the people who are already vaccinated from like 6 weeks to 12 weeks. That means my parents who were supposed to get the second vaccine this week, the week of 24th of May, now it's pushed almost until end of June. And that also means that the government has caused even more problems regarding getting hold of vaccine for we guys, which is like the 18 to 45 guys. And I don't know how much I have struggled looking into the COVID app, looking into various sources wherein there is information about availability of vaccine. Every single minute trying to log into COVID app, trying to get an appointment, but failing. I just stopped it there, because at least there is one hope that in my office they're planning to start a vaccine drive for the employees and their family members. I think they might be starting it in somewhere in the second or third week of June. Uh, Maybe I want to assume it like that's one sure shot way of getting the vaccine. At least if we can get the first one, second one somehow we'll manage, which is like another 2 months away, or maybe 3 months away to be precise. So I just stopped looking into it, but at least my parents and my aunt have surpassed that first dose thing, and it's just a wait and watch game till you get the second one. Talking about vaccine and COVID, another thing is like we know what was happening in April, but though I was away from WhatsApp and social media and things like that, things were not great in office, and that's something which you can't avoid. And being a manager, I need to be responsible for my own folks who report to me, and even the other folks who are there in the team. A lot of team members were down with COVID. A lot of team members had their family members affected. Some lost their family members. Some of them lost their parents. Some had their grandparents pass away due to COVID stuff. It was kind of depressing to hear that, but slowly and steadily things are improving and things are stabilizing. So not much of a news there. But on a different note, there were at least two employees, not from my team, but one of them who was there, part of my team when I had actually joined this organization. Two of them passed away, and two of them were like in their mid to late 40s kind of an age bracket, and both of them passed away due to COVID related health complications. It was really saddening to see fellow colleagues and employees pass away due to this dreaded pandemic thing. Let's hope this gets over as soon as possible. I don't know how many people, like how many millions of people are like really frustrated about hearing about it, seeing people struggle and all those stuff, but I just want this to end as soon as possible. So that's on the pandemic or COVID or vaccine related stuff. While talking about office, one other thing that I want to talk about office is, I decided last time that I won't talk too much about what's happening in office, but again, there are things that I have to bring up. One thing is a sudden change in organizational announcement that happened just a few days back, to be more precise, like a couple of days back. I think on Thursday it happened, and this was regarding the change in the leadership team just above me. I know that my manager was eagerly trying to go up the ladder and all those stuff, but we just got a shocking news on Thursday that my second level manager had decided to call it quits. He was a very senior guy, a very technically very able guy, and a very good leader, I would say. A very kind of like rational and very aggressive, but that is what can make products progress, if I could call it. We just realize all these things only after the person leaves. He's not really left. He'll be leaving. His last day is on June 4th. But the moment you realize that the person is leaving, you know how much of an impact that it will have on the team. So he's leaving. That means that my immediate manager gets to go up the ladder now. Might not be the way that he would have wished to or he wanted to, but again, it's an easy way for him. That also means that he has to bring in another manager to probably offload some of his work and balance out along with me. So that brings in a new manager into the team and probably like two scrum masters. I'm not really sure how capable they are, how well groomed they are, how well trained they are in taking up this role. It was a bit of a surprise for me. It's not that they can't do, but suddenly making them take up higher responsibilities and all is kind of challenging because, as I told you, like they're not groomed, they're not trained, and you don't know how the team will react. And in fact, like it's become evident that team is not really accepted this news really well, and I've already started seeing one of the team members, a very senior person, kind of behave in a very odd way since this news has been announced. But let's see how things goes. I'll probably keep you updated on all these things when I meet next in the end of the June. Maybe very short time regarding this office stuff, because that's not what something I want to document, because in future when I see, I don't want to go back and talk about or listen about how things were in my office and how good or bad my experience was. So I would prefer to go back in time and look at all those good things that I did, positive experiences that I had, fun times that I had, maybe the struggles that we have all going through over the last 1 year, but definitely not something related to office. That's something which I want to stay away from. So that's pretty much it, what I wanted to document. I think I had a lot of interruptions today, but anyway, that's done for now.